You are tuned in to episode 12 of the Goodfellas podcast. Your host G5 Jeff TV. As you can see, I got my right hand with me, VP Shane. What's going on, good brother?
What's good? What's good?
Everything good, everything good. Boxing First Vlog will be with us momentarily. Big news came out today. Dillian Whyte, Otto Wallin has been canceled. A shoulder injury in quotations has caused the cancellation. Um, a lot of people got a lot of different opinions on it. Uh, Shane, what was your first thoughts when you seen the fight got canceled?
I just thought to myself that when it when I looked at it, I just thought immediately. I thought, oh, that's convenient. That's the first thing I thought. That is very convenient.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. We got Kiki in the building. Big shout out to Kiki. She said I'm listening and working. Yeah, salute to you, Queen, for sure. Um, yeah, it was real real convenient because I think we was just on a show and we was defending Dillian White. Am I correct, Shane?
hmm And I'm
Yeah.
still defending him now. I'm still defending him now.
Yeah, it's when I seen it, I was just like, I've been saying this off camera for a while. I was like, I didn't think Dillian White should have took the Otto Wallin fight anyway, because of the position that he was in. Um, I felt like it was too risky. You know what I'm saying? Me personally. Now the fan in me loved the matchup, loved the matchup. But the businessman in me was like, like nah, like you know what I'm saying? So I just for me on record, this has business move written all over it. Simply because he's got a shot with Tyson Fury standing staring him in his face, and
Exactly.
he has more of a chance of fighting Fury than he ever did. Fighting Wilder when he was champ, or even AJ. You know, it seemed like this is his real like legit shot to really get his title shot that he been wanting for years
I
on top
mean,
of
I
years.
mean, it's funny because um when I last heard from the Tyson Fury camp, it was like if they're not getting used, they don't want anyone. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I know the WBC ordered the Otto Wallin fight, but they've ordered fights and gone back on their decisions before. So
Yeah, I don't pay the WBC any mind. They, like we always say, like the WBC they can order whatever they want. Don't mean they gonna get it. You know, uh,
of course,
promoters, managers, fighters, they still running the show over a fight chosen by a sanctioning body. Um,
just because of the money.
just yeah, just because of the money. That's why you can't really pay attention to that because I'm like if they don't put the money up, unless they're putting the money up, them ordering a fight doesn't mean anything. Like that's like you ordering
Yeah,
food. That's like you ordering food. If you don't pay for the food, there's a pretty good chance you ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Conrad Boxing is in the building. What's going on, good brother? Now that's more like it, man. You up in here within the first 5 minutes. That's what we like to see. He said White isn't ducking. He's just playing the WBC game. Um, he also said maybe his last opportunity to get that title shot.
exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it's
What,
looking.
what? Dylan White's 31 fights in, 32 fights in his career. What is he, 20, 30 and 1 or 30 and 2, sorry? So 32 fights in his career, no title shot. I mean, you're not getting any younger. So I
How old is Dillian White?
think 33 or 30, yeah, 33. Same age as Fury.
Okay.
He's had a little bit. I mean, Fury's done a lot to himself outside of the ring, like drink and drugs and stuff. But
Right.
then Dillian Whyte's had a lot of wars. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's his time to cash in. We got Adrian in the building. What's going on, Adrian? Um,
I
yeah.
mean, let's entertain this for a second.
Okay.
Let's say that Dillian Whyte done this to get the Tyson Fury fight. How does that happen? How does he get the Tyson Fury fight after pulling out of a fight with Otto Wallin? How does he how does he position himself? Because at the same time, does he not still have a contractual obligation with Otto Wallin? How does it work? You've seen it before, but how does it work this time? You've seen it happen with the likes of I remember when David Hay done this a few times. David Hay was ordered to fight a few times and he's faked injuries to get out of the fight. You see fighters do it quite often. But trying to remember a recent occasion where dudes pulled out a fight on injury and then fought literally directly after. I mean, Ryan Garcia did that. Ryan Garcia was contractually obligated for a fight and down to injury, he ended up pulling out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, how does he do that? How does he get away with that, should I say?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So here's the thing. That works when you not only a side, but you got pulling power on top of that. So Dillian Whyte is the A side in this situation, and he has pulling power not only because of his name, but because of the position that he's in. So there's not a whole lot of money in an Otto Wallin fight. So essentially, what they're hoping for is for people to basically, look the other way. You know what I mean? And that's simply what this is. Like they're hoping people look the other way. Now, as far as the Tyson Fury fight, you got to think about it. You got to look at Tyson Fury's options. All right. So he's not going to fight Wilder again. That's number one. We know that already. He's not fighting any Frank Sanchez's or anything like that. Really, the only option he really has is Usyk and Joshua, and they're contractually obligated to fight next. There's no tune up,
exactly.
no nothing. They have to fight next. So Fury actually has nowhere to go. His biggest opponent is going to be waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
going to be determined. So if Fury decides to take a fight, and of course he wants to ride the momentum, he's not going to take on no Otto Wallin or anybody like that. Dillian Whyte would be the best option. So with Dillian Whyte making this move, he puts himself in really great position, and it
But
makes sense.
why do you think they done it so close to the Otto Wallin fight though? Because the fight is next week.
That tells me that there's a, if I had to guess, it was probably a backdoor deal done. You know
Or
how the game go.
it probably took him a few days. Yeah, that's true. Or I mean, they were probably waiting for the Wilder and Fury fight to happen, which was 2 weeks ago, and then they were gonna make their move based on that.
Yeah,
They
because
just needed.
because I feel like if Wilder would have won the third
He
fight, he's
he
not building
they
out
take.
that Wilder fight. They
Yeah,
take the
he's
Wilder
taking
fight.
that Otto Wallin fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's taking the
because
Wilder fight.
he still don't feel like that's a guarantee.
Right. We got my man Trey in the building. What's going on, Trey?
Is
Said
that a game? And
Wallin
continue, bro.
fight. Wallin fight will always be there for Whyte. The Fury fight window is closing fast, so Whyte wants it now. I'm hearing the same thing though. Fury looks like he wants undisputed next or retire. So
That's smoke and mirrors because this guy's got a contractual obligation with ESPN. He owes them a fight. He had a 5 fight deal. He's only done 4 fights.
yeah, so for that reason alone, it's not going anywhere. And the way Fury operates, he's not going to take a win like this and not try to capitalize on it in some way,
Oh,
shape, or form.
and there's no way you retire when there's a chance. when you're one step away from undisputed. There's no way you retire when you do that. And he's not
And
retiring to run from Dillian Whyte.
and on top of that, Fury would be the favorite, whether it's Usyk or AJ. He would be the
Facts.
favorite going into the fight. So I just don't see him turning that down on top of the payday. We ain't even mention the money.
Plus,
He
if even if Tyson Fury retires, that makes it even worse for Dillian Whyte because that means he'll just automatically become champion because he's interim.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that makes it even more reason for why I would pull out of this fight. And let me ask you this: is there a chance that Dillian Whyte is actually injured?
I'm gonna put it to you like this. For the people that's listening, the link is in the chat if you want to get in on the show. I think this would be a great time to do it. Um, I put it to you like this. If Dillian Whyte had to fight, I think he could. But it's one of those things like I'm not gonna say he probably feels 100%, but he probably feels about probably 85, 90%. It's probably a very small issue, and it's good enough for them to be like, let's just cancel it, you know.
But we'll find out pretty soon because what he does within the next coming months, because like as immediately after the injury, I heard people talking about Tyson Fury and the fight being on the table. That doesn't happen if if the injury is legitimate.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so it's October 20th, right? So let's just say the injury is legit. All right. So we talking a shoulder injury, especially with heavyweights. It's going to take them a while for them to actually heal up, rehab, things like that. That's
At
automatically
least
going to
eight
take you.
weeks.
Yeah, that's automatically going to take you in the next year. That's going to take you in the next year. So you're probably talking legit March of next year, possibly. But
Mm-hmm.
that falls right in line with when the AJ Usyk rematch would happen. So
Yeah.
it falls right in line. So it makes sense all the way around.
I
Um,
mean, what I look at, I got two things that I look at. You could do that, but then is he contractually obligated to reschedule? That would be my question. And if he goes straight into the Fury fight, that would mean 1 year out of the ring. How would that affect Dillian Whyte? Because that's one of his longest layoffs.
I don't
Going
think
into
he.
the biggest, going
I don't
into the
think he
biggest
really.
fight of his
I
career.
don't think he cares. I think that's the last thing he's concerned about.
It
Dillian
should be
Whyte.
something he cares about because Dillian Whyte's not going there just to get money. He's going there to actually try and win.
Yeah, but it's this that's something that's out of his control though. So that's why I think he's really not going to care about that. He wants the opportunity, and with a guy with Dillian Whyte's style, he's one of the few guys that can actually withstand a long layoff
Why do you say that?
because he's not he's not your technician, and we all know this. When technicians, pure boxers are coming off of really long layoffs, usually take them 3, 4 rounds to get back into a rhythm, get back into a groove. Dillian Whyte is not your traditional boxer technician, and then what he does well inside of the ring, he doesn't need to be fighting 4 or 5 times a year in order for him to display that. So he is one of these guys that can actually take a year off and come back, and there's a pretty good chance you're gonna see the same Dillian Whyte. I can't think of too many fights where we haven't seen the same Dillian Whyte, no matter what the layoff is. He's one of the few guys in the sport that pretty much give it to you. He give it to you how you usually supposed to get it every time he gets into the ring, and that's not often that you see that. There's someone's that consistent inside of the ring, whether win or
Um,
lose.
I mean, I will say this though. Have you seen much promotion for that fight? I mean, it's pretty dumb to ask you because you're not in the UK, but maybe the lack of promotion could be the reason because maybe they always knew they were going to do this and the lack of promotion was just because if they done a real big promotion behind it, like I don't even think they had a press conference. Did they have a press conference for this fight?
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing one.
Bro, they didn't have a press conference for this fight.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing one. I don't remember seeing one. All I seen was they had like it was like a couple minute video on the fight. Just a basic, promotional video, like
Yeah,
nothing no
maybe,
different
bro.
than
Maybe they
I
never.
did. I do.
Maybe Eddie Hearn never had a. Maybe he always had it in his mind not to make this fight.
And we usually don't play the conspiracy theorist thing. That's more so our good brother BoxingFirst Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless. But if I wanted to throw on my, my Blunt Bayless hat, if they are to pull this off with an opponent, it would be a person like Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin got the claim to fame by what happened in the Fury fight. He was extremely competitive in that fight. He's a quality opponent. So in order for Dillian Whyte and them to get away with this, they need the opponent to play ball. And
Yeah,
with Otto Wallin getting the opportunity at Tyson Fury, and it makes his career look even better now because of what Tyson Fury's done,
I
in the third
mean,
fight.
you know what's crazy? I'm gonna ask you another question. What country is Otto Wallin in now?
That's a good question. Let me
Because
see.
if go on Instagram and see where his last
I'm about to
post
look.
was.
I'm about to look right now.
Because the reason why I'm asking that is because maybe it wasn't because I'm thinking Eddie Hearn is one of the few promoters who promotes boxing fights amazingly. Like he really promotes fights.
Yeah,
Like he
old school.
he
Yeah,
goes out and does it.
yeah.
He didn't really put much promotion into this fight. And to be fair, this is a fight that is probably one of his bigger fights in the UK for a while. So the fact that he hasn't put the promotion behind it, maybe this was always the plan. And if Otto Wallin isn't in the UK and he's in America, maybe, then I'm asking questions. Why have you not come over earlier to get yourself
So,
acclimatized to the country?
so as of October 12th, he was in New York City. His last post was from New York City. And then he put up another post 5 days ago. It just says October 30th, live on the zone, but it doesn't say where he is. But usually, with a fight like this, they'll usually say, they'll have footage of him arriving in the
Him landing in the
UK,
country. Yeah,
landing, and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, you don't see none of that. So
No
yeah,
press conference,
no press conference.
no arrival of him landing, none of
Yeah,
that.
and Eddie Hearn at the bare minimum, he's going to do that, especially for a
Wait,
fight
wait.
like this.
I got another question. Go on Dylan White's Instagram and see where he is, because I know his training camp was in Portugal. If he's still in Portugal, bro, that's another thing, because he's supposed to be coming over to England to get acclimatized as well. If he's still in Portugal, then
He put up a post 4 days ago. Doesn't say where. The little promotional video came out October 13th. Yeah,
bro,
it looks real. Looks
yeah,
real seafoodish, real fishy. You understand what I'm
yeah, to
saying?
me, yeah, I think that's a bit of I think that's a bit of what's it called, bro. I think that's great business from Eddie Hearn, bro. That fight was never gonna happen. That fight was never gonna happen. This is not
Yeah.
the first time Dylan White's faked to injury to get out of a fight as well. I'll let you guys know. Dylan White was supposed to fight Marius Wack. I think it was 2017, and he didn't fight him, and it was because of poor ticket sales. And they weren't selling enough tickets. It was actually Dylan White's first ever headline show, and he didn't make great ticket sales. And when they did that, instead of them pulling the show, or because legally they couldn't pull the show, he faked the injury. Well, word on the grapevine was that he faked the injury. I'm not going to accuse him of anything, But I remember Derek Chisora saying in the build up to the second fight, he was like, "We know why you didn't fight Marius Whyte is because you faked the injury. It's because you wasn't selling tickets. It wasn't because you had an injury." So
Right.
that was word in the grapevine. So he's done it before. He knows how to play the game. It's something that he's definitely done before.
I mean,
When
but
he,
that's a call. That's a call from up top too. You know what I'm
of
saying?
course, of
You're not selling
course.
tickets. You know, the big boys. They make that call. It's like, hey, listen, tickets ain't moving, ain't pushing. That's why I was really wondering about the Shakur and Jamel Hearn fight, because I heard through the grapevine that those tickets weren't really moving either. You know what I'm saying? Um, them tickets weren't moving at
I,
all.
bro,
You know what I'm saying?
Heaven is 5-1.
I know. Yeah, he 5-1. I gotta seriously think about. I gotta watch the weigh-in. I gotta watch the weigh-in.
I thought you
Um,
would put money on it regardless.
no, not necessarily. I still gotta see the
Five to
weigh-in.
one is ridiculous, bro. That
Yeah,
is ridiculous odds.
5-1 is ridiculous, but I ain't in the business of throwing away bread neither. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta see the weigh-in. To be honest with you, I'm looking to see how Jamel looking, and then I'm looking to see if there's anything about Shakur that I don't like.
But there's not much you're gonna give away because they're both gonna weigh in right weight.
Now,
So
it's certain things I'm looking at.
what are you looking at?
It's certain things you can tell if a guy struggled to make weight. You kind of tell if they not looking like themselves. I pay attention and stuff like that. Like,
I don't think you're gonna see anything. I don't
I
think you're
may
gonna
not,
see
I may
anything.
not, I may not, but I'm not making no decisions till after I weigh in. I'll tell you that much. You take that to the bank and cash it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
don't know, man. I don't know if you're gonna see anything. I think they're both very good professionals. They both really acclimatized to the weight very
Listen,
well.
you seen some of the greatest professionals in history miss weight or get close or have to weigh in twice. Bernard Hopkins had to do it.
I mean, Sean Porter is one of the greatest professionals, and
Sean
he had to cut
Porter,
off a braid.
he had to cut off a braid and a brain stem to make weight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, how heavy was that braid that made
That
weight as
braid was
well?
he had one of them doo doo braids. That was a heavy job. You know what I'm saying? One of them twisty braids. You know what I'm
Literally,
saying? But he had to strip down to the birthday suit a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Floyd missed weight versus Marquez. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just I think that was more strategic than anything else. But um, I mean, yeah, you would think you're not gonna see anything, but you might. And if I'm not mistaken, I think YSM and that whole crew is actually going down there, if I'm not mistaken. If I
Where
was
is it?
reading Atlanta.
Did you get a credentials for it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I know a couple,
I
couple
mean,
guys, couple guys in the chat. I think they heading down there. So,
I'm gonna
big
ask you
shout
a
out to all
question,
of
yeah?
them. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. What if they both and they look completely normal on the scales? What do you do then?
They both look normal.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some money on Heron for sure.
How
Yeah,
much money you trying to put?
that's what I would have to determine.
I
Um,
definitely don't think Shakur will miss me. I definitely don't think Shakur
it's
will miss
not.
me.
I don't think neither one of them going to miss weight. I'm looking to see if they both look normal. I don't expect for them to miss weight or even come close to missing weight. It's just certain. It's hard for me to explain. It's just certain stuff I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to explain it. But yeah, if they look perfectly normal, I'm putting a couple dollars on Jabel. Because I'm up from a pure just gambling standpoint, coming out of all aspects. I'm up like 1,300 right now, just in the piggy bank. I ain't cashed it out yet.
So
So
what
I'm
were
up
you gonna
like
put? Were you gonna
1,300.
put like 200 down?
I if I'm if I'll probably do some film study again. I did some film study last night. If I do some more film study, the max I will put on it is like $300.
You put
That's what.
300 down, you get what, 1500?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
But see, the thing is, if Jamel had like power, like for real power, I would probably put like I would probably put 500 on him and try to crack the bank.
How does but we're going back on the Dillian Whyte topic. How does Dillian Whyte beat Tyson Fury if the fight does happen?
Um, he's going to have to fight extremely disciplined in terms of the jab. The jab going to get him home. The jab is going to get him home. Distance, jab, and he got to bring a chopping right hand to the party.
I mean, he's a very, very good body puncher. That's just his natural game, is to be very good going down to the body. I think that's going to be important because that's going to wear Tyson Fury. It's going to stop Tyson Fury from using his legs all fight. You know,
See,
Tyson Fury, go on.
Yeah, I don't think Dillian Whyte is going to be disciplined enough to go to the body all night.
But he's done it before. He's done it before.
Yeah, but he's going to be emotionally invested in this fight, so
That's a good point.
I don't see him being completely disciplined in this fight. It's going to be a certain level of trash talking and things like that. So he's going to come in that fight juiced up. You know what I'm saying?
But are we going to see slick Tyson Fury, or are we going to see come forward Tyson Fury? Because forward Tyson Fury,
we're going to see the slick one.
I don't think come forward Tyson Fury will be the best way forward against someone like Dillian Whyte. In the pocket, he's a bit too battle hardened. He's different to Wilder. Wilder's not used to dudes sitting on his chest and him having to fight like that. Dillian's quiet. He's done it numerous times. Granted, not against someone as elite as Tyson Fury, but he won't be uncomfortable. I think Wilder looked a bit uncomfortable. He didn't know how to pace himself. Dillian Whyte gets tired in most fights, but he knows how to recover. Plus, in the pocket, he knows how to get shots off. He doesn't just hold and wait for the referee to break. You know, he's a bit nastier.
Right. No, I agree with that 100%. And you got to factor this in as well. Fury is also coming off of 3 rugged fights with Wilder, where he's then got put down several times. So
I know, tough fight with Wallin.
And the tough fight with Wallin. So, you know, he's due for the slick Tyson Fury to come out. I think this would be one of them fights where it would serve him very well. I don't think he want to be in the kitchen, you know, cooking with Dillian Whyte near the stove. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that he can't win a fight like that against Dillian Whyte, but it's just we still don't think Tyson Fury's that good offensively.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like his
I think it's even worse after watching the third fight against Wilder.
It's just he processes his actual ring IQ and his adjustments on the fly is kind of like it's almost like a welterweight, junior middleweight. Like it literally took him 60 seconds to decipher what was going on with Wilder and figure out the problem. Figure out the game plan and figure out the problem and take advantage of it. Like, because Wilder came out in the first round and he went to the body and
he showed his hand a bit too early. I think Wilder showed his hand way too early.
He showed his hand immediately.
Immediately.
It was beyond too early. It was immediate. He was like, "Hey, here's the jab to the body. Here I come with it. I'm gonna look down and actually throw it this time. Here you go.
Literally.
I'm gonna look down again and I'm gonna throw it to you." Like it's just
he showed. I mean, talk about he didn't have no poker face or no chess moves about him. He literally played checkers in there, bro. Just here I go, here I play. Literally threw his hand in there straight away.
Hey man, Wilder had 2 kings, and he's like, listen, I got 2 kings. I'm about to come in here with these 2 kings. He ain't trying to
Literally,
bluff, nothing.
none of that.
Like none of
No
that.
disguise, no
No,
misdirection, none of that.
no feints, no nothing. It was just like, let me look
I'm
and see
going to
my
the
target. I'm going
body.
to the body. So it's just that's what I'm saying. Like that boxing craft, like that's just something that Wilder doesn't have. You know what I'm
Nah.
saying? He doesn't have it. But even with that being said, like Fury processed everything quicker than the average person. You know what I'm saying? Um, Conrad and Dillian is an opponent that can make Fury look really good. A top 5 to 7 opponent with slow feet. How you feel about that, Shane?
And Dylan is an opponent that can make Fury look good. A top 5 to 7 opponent with slow feet. Oh, he definitely can make him look good because if he deals with Dylan Whyte in handy fashion, you know what they're gonna be saying. You know how they're gonna manipulate it. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Dylan Anthony
Kiki said,
Joshua struggled, and then I just schooled him 12 rounds or whatever he's gonna say. And
yeah,
Dylan's gonna be the one to sell the fight. Dylan's gonna be the one
yeah,
to sell it
he's
because
definitely gonna sell it. Kiki said, nope. Nope to what? Um, nope to what? Um, yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting. I think it's an interesting style matchup. Um, because Fury can make that fight easy if he wants. Like if the slick Tyson Fury comes out and he keeps it basic, 2 3 punch combinations, uses size and you know what I'm saying,
ring
ring
movement.
generalship. Yeah, he could literally win this fight easily if he wants. But I felt like he could have did the same thing with Wilder, but it's a certain level of him that just wants the entertainment. Kiki said Fury being as good as folks say he is. He's listen. He Kiki, I'm gonna put it to you like this. When I watch, and Shane noticed when I actually put the lab coat on and I'm actually watching a fight, like I watch it from all angles. And the last angle is an entertainment angle. Like I'm
Yeah,
really in there, like really breaking things down. The couple things I can tell you about the third fight is there's probably like 3 or 4 guys that if Fury fought that way against these 3 4 guys, he would have lost. Like he would have lost.
who
Like
would you say the three guys are?
the first thing, if he fought Usyk like that, Usyk's beating him. If he fights sloppy like that, he's Usyk's beating him. If he fights sloppy like that, that's number one. Um, the second person, AJ would have really had his
Nah,
way in
fam.
that fight.
Nah,
I'm gonna tell
bro.
you. Listen. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. The thing about AJ is offensively, he had so many opportunities. He would have had. Imagine that being AJ, right? We can all admit that he's probably twice as talented as Wilder offensively. Imagine the
Yeah,
opportunities that he would have had in that fight. Those same opportunities that Wilder had. AJ would
yeah,
have had a
but
field day in there. He'd had a field
yeah,
day
but
in there.
he. I think what I'm realizing is the crop of heavyweights aren't as great as I think they was. But one person who I think he would have really struggled with if he fought that style, and you're gonna laugh at me when I say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The person who I think he would struggle with a lot, I do think Usyk is one, but the other person I think he would struggle with is actually Hrgovic. And I'll tell you why I think he would struggle with Hrgovic if he fought that sloppily. Because for one, Hrgovic is almost, I think Hrgovic's 6'7", so the height he's basically Wilder but much physically stronger and bigger. The difference is Hrgovic don't get pushed back. Hrgovic is probably the best draw line in the sand fighter I've seen since Vitaly Klitschko. He'll draw a line in the sand. You're not coming past this. And the reason how he does it is because he fights with his 2 hands out like that, kind of like the mummy style. And if you try walk, bam, 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 everything is straight. Fury didn't really come at angles in this fight. So he would have got hit with a lot of shots on his way in against someone like Hrgovic. Plus, nothing Fury throws will hurt Hrgovic. Hrgovic's chin is probably one of the hardest in the division. So don't expect him to walk back that way. Plus, Hrgovic is really, he doesn't expend energy because he doesn't waste punches. Everything he throws would land. So that style, I'm not saying he will beat Fury, but that style that he fought against Wilder, he would have struggled against Hrgovic. I'm not saying he would have lost. I'm just saying he would have struggled. What do you think?
Yeah, style wise, I mean, I think Hrgovic is probably one of the guys that would give him the most trouble. But the people that I'm picking that would give Fury the most trouble if he would have fought like that against other guys is guys that are pretty talented offensively. Because he was open for so many shots that Wilder didn't take advantage of. So that's why AJ came up on my list. Like, he's still one of the gifted offensive fighters in the sport. He just would have had a field day offensively. I'm not saying that AJ would even win the fight against Fury, but offensively, he'd have looked like vintage AJ.
But
he looked like vintage AJ.
He would need he just don't have the heart to throw punches, bro. I just think this guy's done.
No, he would have threw punches in that fight. You saying the openings in that fight?
I don't think he would have thrown him.
But see that's the thing.
I think this guy's actually done, bro. I think this guy's done.
Yeah,
I think he's done. Think so. Bro, from a dude is willing to go into a fight knowing he's down on the cards and be happy that he's losing his belt, bro. You ain't no champion. He's a fake champion to me. You are willing to give up your belt just like that. He went out like a wimp. Bro, you gave up your belt like a wimp, bro. You ain't no real champion to me.
I'm going to use your own words, though. What proof do you have that any style that AJ was going to bring to the table was going to work?
But you got to do something, bro. That's
Did
true,
I not
though.
quote you exactly?
Facts. That's true. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
I think
from round 10 onwards, he just gave up.
Bro, but here's the thing, though. He went into the fight with bad strategy. He went into the fight with just bad advice. Period. Like, that's just what it is. And Usyk is a rare breed. We both said that. I think he's a Hall of Fame fighter. That's my personal opinion.
Usyk is definitely a Hall of Fame fighter. Facts.
Pull that against Adam Kalnacki, then I would agree with you. But Usyk is different. He's different. It's going to take for me to see how AJ reacts in the rematch for me to say that he's done. I'm not comfortable saying. I understand why you're saying it, and I respect that, but I'm not going to sit up here. I'm not going to subscribe to that yet.
I get you, and I know why you're saying that, but bro, you can't lose your belt like that, bro. Not like that. There's many ways. Lose it like how Wilder lost it, bro. Not like that. You lost your belt.
No, I feel you.
Everybody knows
Usyk
is a better boxer than him. That's fine. But bro, at least go out there and give it your all. You know, I know. At least make it look like you gave it a legitimate shot, and what you had wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I do agree with that. Andre Southgate in the building. It's good to see you, good brother. Say what's going on. Fury will beat Whyte if he fights him like he did with Chisora. No need for him to crunk style Whyte out.
Chisora 1 or Chisora 2? Chisora 1 or Chisora 2? Because Chisora 2, he fought. He was getting pinged in the first half of that fight. Chisora 2, he fought well, but Chisora 1,
I'm assuming you're talking about 2.
Chisora 2, that was probably Tyson Fury's, one of Tyson Fury's best performances.
Yeah.
Chisora 2.
My baby Jay Banks in the building. What's going on? Conrad Boxing Hrgovic fight sloppy too.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
You're not.
He would love that sloppy game. Yeah,
exactly. That's my point. Like, you ain't gonna fight out sloppy Hrgovic, because the thing is, Hrgovic knows how to smother his own work But to me, I think Hrgovic has more power than Fury, and I think Hrgovic has a better chin than Fury.
Yo,
And
Herkovich
go
is
on.
like that. Herkovich is like that badass kid that come in the house and got dirt all over his shirt and on his
Yeah,
jeans, and he just look like he's playing in mud. That's how you fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing. It's nothing clean about Herkovich game. Like,
nothing nice on the eye, but it's effective. And I just don't think. I mean, if you're coming forward against Hrgovic, you gotta have real power. Tyson Fury wouldn't have knocked out Hrgovic. I put on everything. Tyson Fury ain't knocking out Hrgovic.
yeah, I don't think so either. Andre Southgate for sure. The old AJ can KO Fury if he came head on. Just depends on how he approaches the fight. Don't write off AJ. I'm Andre. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to yet, and it's not even him. It's more so how highly I hold Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I just
Does
think
Usyk
Usyk
beat
is
Fury?
no, no. But I can tactically explain why though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Andre Southgate said he was talking about Chisora too. My man. Um, this is why I think Usyk would lose to Fury. Everything that Fury don't care how he looks in a fight. Fury is going to do everything he needs to do to win a fight. He's going to use his weight. He's going to use his size. He's going to get in there and hit whatever he need to hit. He's going to do everything humanly possible to make sure Usyk is not the same Usyk by round 6.
Mm-hmm.
Once that happens, we haven't seen Usyk really have to get down in the trenches. Usyk
Nah,
has won pretty much all his fights being in cruise control,
Use. Yeah,
doing Usyk,
being Usyk. Yeah.
doing Usyk. That'll be the first time in his career that he would have to win a fight not doing Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I would lean towards Fury in that fight. And it's not even the fact that I think Fury is more skilled than Usyk. It's just the
Oh
fact
hell
that a
no.
lot of the
Hell
stuff,
no.
a lot of the stuff that Usyk gets away with, he would have a harder time getting away with it with
Yeah,
Fury.
Fury's a bit more crafty. And the truth is with Fury is so big. I mean, I say weight don't count that much, but it will count in that fight. It's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
count in that fight.
if you leave it up to BoxingFirst Vlog, Fury's gonna gain about 100 pounds between the weigh-in and fight night. He's gonna come in about 400.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
what if Usyk decided to run? I
That
don't
ain't
think
gonna work. That ain't
Fury's
gonna work.
front game ain't great though. Fury's front
Yeah,
game ain't great. His
yeah,
walk down
but
game ain't great.
yeah, his walk down game not great, but Usyk ain't gonna win no rounds doing that neither. Not against Fury. You know how many rounds Fury done won off of showboating and sticking his tongue out
Yeah,
and all that.
that's a
You
fact. That's
already
a
know.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Usyk ain't
Arms
winning
behind the
rounds
back,
running.
Arlie
Yeah,
shuffle, tongue
yeah,
out,
he's
all of
not.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hell no, hell no. Um,
That would be
uh,
probably the boringest fight ever.
Kalous Saxon is in the building. If I pronounce your first name wrong, I do apologize. Mr. Saxon, what's going on? Said Usyk said 2 years ago Fury would be his hardest and Wilder his easiest.
I could have said the same. I could have said that years ago. I could have said that myself because I've always said to myself that Usyk, Fury will always gonna be his hardest, but Usyk, I always thought Wilder will be his easiest purely and simply because if Wilder don't get that right hand home, he'll literally look like a rookie in there. It'd probably be the most embarrassing high level fight I've ever seen in my life in terms of the disparity in skills. It might be the most high level whooping I've ever seen in my life in terms of outclassing. He actually might lose 13-0. He might lose every round 10-8 and still get the knockout. That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is.
I out of all of those guys, I would say Wilder will probably be the easiest fight for Usyk, and I know people not gonna like hearing that, but I mean it's Wilder either he land the right hand and go home, or he's getting 12 old. Like he's not winning
Maybe
any rounds.
13.
Yeah, maybe 13. He's not winning any rounds against Usyk, and that's I'm a Wilder fan, but I'm a boxing fan first. You know, that's what my boxing eye tells me. Because the only thing you can say is that Wilder's gonna land the right hand. That's all you can tell me.
Oh, you can say
You can't tell me anything else about that. You can't say Wilder's gonna go to the body. He's gonna throw feints. He's
he's
gonna
gonna
throw
beat
check
him to the
hooks.
jab. He's
Yeah,
gonna
you
do
can't tell
nothing. He's
me
gonna win the
none of that.
battle of the footwork. None of that.
None of that. You're not gonna be able to tell me none of that. Andre Southgate said Usyk versus Fury is skill against talent. Fury will have to come with all he has to beat Usyk, and he think he will do it. Usyk more skilled, Fury more talented.
Nah, I think Usyk's more skilled and talented. I think Tyson Fury is gifted. He's been gifted a gift, which is I am 6'9" and I'm 280 pounds and I can move. That is a gift.
Yeah, you know the thing that's funny. I'm gonna take an old quote from I forgot which Rocky it was. I think Rocky and Apollo Creed was talking, and I think Rocky told Apollo Creed, he said, "You a great fighter, but I fight great." I think that applies
That is
to this.
amazing. That is
That
a,
that
that. You know what?
that
I like that.
applies.
I like that because that's the truth.
It's the truth.
Tyson Fury is a person who fights great, and Usyk is a
Usyk is
great
just a great
fighter.
fighter. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
when you have that, then you don't know
And you
what
know
you
what,
don't know what's
bro?
gonna
You
happen.
know what, bro? That's the same thing with Hearn and Shakur. Because I think Shakur is a great fighter, but I think Hearn fights great because he knows how to win, bro. He is probably one of the least talented fighters in the division, but the dude knows
Yeah,
how to win, bro. The dude knows how
absolutely.
to win, bro.
My my brother and friend of the channel, Padman
Bro,
McGriff is in the building.
we have to make that a saying now. You're a great fighter, but I fight great. I like that.
I stole that from Rocky. I did, but I felt like it applied. Uh let's see. He says Siri, I'm assuming that's a typo, is a better boxer. He will dominate in the middle of the ring because most of the time that's where Usyk stays at. Yeah, if Padman, if it's in the middle of the ring, then yeah, you gotta give Usyk the advantage. Um, you
Because
know, you gotta
he would
you're
just
just gonna
circle
circle
with
him.
it.
You're just gonna circle him all night. The thing about Fury is he's gonna have to get him in one of the four corners. He's gonna
Yeah.
have to make
Or yeah, literally. Or get Usyk chasing him where he can walk Usyk onto shots maybe, but even then it might be a bit difficult. The truth is he's got to use his size and his reach. He's got to use his size and his reach.
yeah. Let me see. Anatoly.
Lomachenko's dad.
Lomo's dad. Okay. How you pronounce that? Is it
Anatoly.
Anatoly? Okay, I did pronounce it correctly. Anatoly Loma wouldn't send Usyk into the ring with Fury to just have him bullied. It's not about bullying. Like it's not about bullying. It's him. It's him sustaining that size and that weight advantage throughout the
If
fight. It's not
if you
bullying though.
if Anatoly calls you up tomorrow and says the visor way that Usyk beats Tyson Fury, how would you do that? What would you tell him? How do you design a camp
You want
and how would
my
you
opinion?
strategy? Yeah, Jeff.
So if I'm coaching Usyk, this is what I would tell him. Um, Number one, and I gotta steal. I'm stealing people's stuff. Chris Casey, not Fear's dad. If your back touch them ropes, is a standing 8 count in camp. Keep your back off the ropes. Um, Stay in the center of the ring. So that's the first thing. So him pivoting out and getting
Left and
back to the
right,
middle of the
left
ring,
and right.
left, right. Yeah, he has to stay in the middle of the ring. That's probably the most important thing.
And
But
another thing I would say is And this is something that I've seen maybe a handful of times. Very difficult to clinch a dude when they leave low. Now you be thinking it's easy to clinch someone when they're low. Yeah, that's when you're on top of them. But when someone leaves low, that means when they're backing out either side, left or right, and they're literally underneath you, it's very difficult to grip their arms because their arms are basically where their knees are, and their head is right underneath. So I would actually make him change it. Like, look at Tank. He's one of the hardest people to hold because when he's leaving, he's literally almost on the floor. And I'd actually encourage Usyk to actually fight quite low. So when Tyson Fury does try to grab him, he's reaching underneath him, which creates pivot opportunities.
Yeah, if he's getting low and pivoting, that's the only way that makes sense. Because if he's getting low and not pivoting, Fury
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna put
he's
his
just
weight
gonna
on
be
him.
on top of him.
Yeah,
On top,
he's
not
just gonna be on top of him.
no,
Yeah,
no. I mean, like kind of like what Andrade does. You know, when Andrade is
yeah, yeah.
literally, that's what I mean. Like he's
He,
so low on, like you can't grab someone in that position. It's
yeah,
impossible to grab someone in that
yeah. He
position.
uses he uses his legs. His legs are gonna be extremely important in the fight. I would tell him to stay in the middle of the ring. Um, he actually needs to work the core, work the chest, work the body, because he's gonna be able to get all them shots off. He's gonna be able to get all
Oh
them
yeah,
shots off.
everything.
Yeah,
Every
he's gonna be
someone
able to
that
get
with
everything off.
some of U6 accuracy, he's gonna get. He ain't gonna go needing to look for. He's not. Fury's not gonna be the hardest person. U6 fought in terms of
Yeah,
accuracy. He's gonna land shots.
chest from the chest down. He's gonna be able to get what he want. The third thing is I would just suggest he doesn't get greedy. Don't get greedy offensively. You're looking at probably like you can't throw 4 or 5 punch combinations against Fury.
No, because
It's
he's
not
gonna
gonna
grab
work
you.
out. He's gonna grab you. So if I would say those are the three things, but that still may not get him a W. That still may not get him a W.
No.
But if I had to devise a strategy, that's what it would be.
Yeah,
Padman said
literally.
Fury would beat him. He said Fury would beat him.
Yeah,
Conrad said Usyk for sure would need to show us something new. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
facts. Facts.
Um, yeah.
I
Now I know
mean,
I
literally, I tell him 1, 2, 3, leave out low. 1, 2, 3, pivot out low. Literally, that's enough. Because the truth is, Fury's not gonna land anything that's gonna be significant in the fight. Because Fury's got horrendous offense. He didn't land anything.
I'm not gonna say
He,
horrendous. It's
he
just
didn't land anything in the Klitschko fight. He just won that fight purely and simply
on
of the fact that
bravado. He won
he
that
can
off
stick out
bravado.
his tongue and do an Aussie shuffle.
Yeah, he won that off bravado alone. Um,
Literally.
Andre Southgate, I have to disagree with that. Usyk is talented for sure, but with Fury, he's a 6'9" guy, able to move like a middleweight. Not only that, he is able to get up from big knockdowns. Haven't seen Usyk tested.
That, that that's
Um,
that's that's gifted, not talent. I think gift is what you're born with. He didn't do that. That's not based. That's based on genetics. You like he's 6'9", and the fact that he can move the way he can move. That's genetics. Because not John Fury, Peter Fury, and Huey Fury, they all have that same big, but they can still move. That's genetics. That's not because Huey Fury's as tall as Tyson Fury, but he moves like that as well. It's just genetics.
maybe even taller. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. Andre Southgate, good point though with the Rocky quote. Yeah, I might have to put that on a shirt. I don't know. YSL Sports Media in the building said, we have never seen Fury against anybody like Usyk before. 50-50
that's a
fight.
fact. That's a fact.
Yeah,
But that's fact. It
no,
works both ways though.
yeah,
It
it do
works.
work both ways.
I ain't ever seen no one fight Usyk fight anyone like Fury. I've seen
Yeah,
every Usyk fight. I've seen every
yeah,
single Usyk fight.
yeah. He's never seen that size and that style neither. So we do agree, for sure. Comrade Boxing, Andre Fury is a gifted fighter. Usyk is a gifted boxer, in my opinion. That's a good one too. That's a good
Hmm.
one too. I agree with that. Conrad said agree. Why is Andre Southgate? I hear you, Conrad. Just saying Fury outbox Klitschko easily. He also has great boxing ability, but as a whole heart fight, boxing swapping stances, Fury is great. Usyk as well, no doubt. It's really, you know what? It's a great. I think it's gonna be a great matchup, but it's just I'm gonna pick the guy with the size and the weight over the smaller guy.
It's really, it goes down to what you said. You're just gonna pick the dude who you as whoever said in the comments. Usyk's gonna have to show us something new. Fury doesn't. So I'm gonna pick the person who I've seen them show me something versus dude who I haven't seen. I'll be guessing if I'm picking Usyk.
Yeah, I can see Fury being typical Fury and win this fight. I can't see Usyk being typical Usyk
Yeah,
and
yeah,
winning
yeah.
this fight. I think he gonna have to show me something. D Hodge is in the building. Big shout out to D Hodge is in the building. Big shout out to you,
That
bro.
potentially could be the most boring fight ever, though.
Could be, could be. Will Stokes is in the building. Said you guys think there's any idea that Whyte has purposely pulled out of this fight?
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
you're like an hour late, bro. We
yeah,
were
he's definitely an hour late. Yeah, that's all we were talking about. Yeah, I
you're gonna have to
definitely
go on a
definitely saw that late.
playback.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna have
got
to
to go
go
on
back
a
on a
playback with
playback,
that.
bro.
D Hodges and Kiki. YSM Fury isn't a sharp or crisp puncher. Usyk will have plenty of opportunities to land a straight left to the body. Yeah, Usyk gonna get what he want.
I mean,
He gonna get what he want.
he ain't gonna have a struggle with landing punches. He ain't gonna have a
Yeah,
struggle avoiding punches. It's more the stuff in between punches are being thrown. The
yeah,
leaning, the
and
grabbing, the holding.
what's gonna happen when Fury land that shot? What's gonna happen when Fury land that shot? Because it's still, even
I,
though he don't have the
I
greatest
don't think.
power in the world, but I'm like, Wilder does have a good chin. Like, let's get that clear. He does
Yeah,
have a good chin, and he put him down. He put him down, put him out twice. So that says something. You know what I'm saying?
but I
Um,
don't think. I don't think Fury has AJ power though.
no, but I don't think he really needed either. Because
Well,
Usyk is not used to taking them type shots.
he,
He's not
he
used to
took
taking them type
AJ
shots.
shots. Well, he didn't really.
Yeah, but
AJ didn't really throw that much to be honest.
he didn't land that crazy. He landed, I would say probably five nice blues, five
Yeah,
in a 12 round
yeah.
fight. That's not a good ratio. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
that's a terrible ratio.
Less than a half a shot around. You know what I'm saying? Per half. Pan Man said Fury will dominate that fight. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe you.
yeah, Will Stokes, Usyk has the ability to beat Fury. I think he'll just be overwhelmed with the physicality of it all. That's where I'm at with it. What does Usyk do with that physicality? Now we knew that it was a chance AJ wasn't going to use the physicality because that's just not how he fights. He's
I
more of a
said that
clean
before
fighter,
the fight started.
and Shane definitely said that before the fight started. But we know what Fury going to do.
It,
Like we know what he
can
going to do.
there's no way Usyk's going to be able to deal with that. The only question is, can he take that away from Fury? That's the
Yeah,
only thing.
yeah,
It's not about can he deal with it, because once that weight starts getting in, you ain't dealing with that. Unless you're as big and physically strong as him, you're not dealing with that. It's
absolutely.
just how do you take it away?
Yeah,
Finding ways and methods to take it away. If you have a real strict ref, that's one way of taking it away. If you hit low and fight dirty back, that's another way of taking it away. But Usyk ain't a dirty fighter, so
nah.
I feel like he's gonna have to find a way to take it away. That bro, if he beats Fury, bro, he might be at GOAT status, bro.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, for sure. Conrad Boxing, if Usyk shows power in the AJ rematch, you'll change your minds.
I
It's
think
not
Usyk will.
no.
Go on.
I To answer that, like I think AJ Chin is just shaky. It's
Yeah,
shaky. It's real shaky. So I'm like, him showing power against AJ is not going to change my
it,
opinion.
it, it don't mean nothing, because
You know
even
what I
if he
mean?
shows power, he ain't gonna show Wilder power. So it don't make a difference, because there's nothing that Usyk can show me that he's gonna knock Fury down. That's gonna make Fury stay down.
And
Because
you
guess
know
what?
what? And you know
Wilder
another
knocked
thing.
him down.
Another thing. Fury is going to go in. This is why I think Fury wins the fight. Fury's going to take probably the first 2 or 3 rounds and see how hard Usyk is actually cracking. And after 2 or 3 rounds, he's gonna be like, his cleanest shot is not gonna do nothing to me.
The the, 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 prob-
I'm really about to walk him down.
the problem
I'm really
is
about to
though,
walk him down.
Fury can't afford to lose rounds though. That's one thing I would say. If Fury goes out there and he loses rounds and he goes to seek a knockout, he's gonna lose that fight. Because offensively he's not good enough to stop Usyk. If he's losing rounds. If Usyk knows he's up, Usyk can just run. If Usyk knows he's up already, Usyk can just run. There's nothing Fury can do that will stop him from running and catching.
Yeah, but I think Fury could really be walking Usyk down later on in the fight. Like if he plays his cards right.
I mean,
Um,
I don't unless Usyk's losing, I don't see how Fury walks him down because Fury's not good enough front foot game to catch Usyk.
well, that's that balance. That's that balance between actually doing what's best for yourself and doing what's best to win rounds. And
Because
Usyk is going to
even
have to figure that
Wilder,
out.
yeah, that's the point. That's my point. That's even Wilder. Like Wilder was doing very rudimental stuff of walking back in a straight line instead
Mm-hmm.
of pivoting to the left, circling, using the different parts of the ring, and sometimes holding his feet, then waiting, creating different gaps. Usyk's a much better real estate finder.
Yeah, I think Fury gonna have to catch up with him late. He had to catch up with him late. But I think he would though.
Yeah,
Conrad said I think his power at heavyweight is underrated at this point.
nah, bro. I just think AJ ain't got no chin.
Yeah, I just think AJ Chen is real shoddy. YSM Usyk won't give Fury the opportunities that Wilder did. Yeah, it'll be slimmer pickings. I agree with that.
I mean,
Uh,
used to can't get knocked out. I put money on that.
nah, yeah. Bolo was in the building. Big shout out to you. Said Usyk ain't even known as a hard puncher. He wobbled AJ because AJ has got a bad chin.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's a fact. That's a
That's
fact.
that's the facts right there, bro.
Right.
Those
Uh,
who are in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But also, I want you guys to tell. Did you guys get the notifications? Because a lot of you guys
yeah,
came in
we
late.
need to know. Did you get the notifications? Because we having some issues with that. Conrad Boxing Fury already got hurt badly by a cruiserweight.
But he
Um,
got up though.
but
He
he
got
got
up.
up. That's the thing. But when you dealing with a guy, you know, Conrad, I'm glad you said that. When you dealing with a guy that's 280 pounds and 6'9", and he figure out he can take your best shot, it's hard to deal with that man going forward. It's
Yeah,
hard to deal with that man going
I'm,
forward.
I disagree with that, Jeff. I disagree with that. I
Why?
disagree with that. Because I don't think Fury has good front foot game to cut off the ring and walk someone down. You have to have good
But
footwork to do that.
but he don't have to cut off the ring. He don't have to cut off the ring with his style. Once he gets close to you, he's grabbing you and keeping you in place anyway. So he don't
But you
have to
have
cut
to.
you off.
It's your feet that gets you close.
Yeah, but he's 6'9" though, so it ain't gonna be hard for him to get close to anybody in the ring.
I think. I think if you're walking someone down, if they got good enough footwork, they can spin you a few times.
But there's a
I think
there's a
so.
few. It's hard to spin 6'9", 280.
I think it's easy.
Uh,
It turned like a truck, bro.
yeah, but the
If
thing is this is the thing though. He's not. Fury doesn't have the best front foot game, but he's not heavy footed. It's gonna be hard to. When have you seen Fury getting turned repeatedly? You've
When
never
have you
seen
seen
that.
Fury walk? But when have you seen Fury? That's because he's never fought no one who is attempted. No one has that real estate understanding of real estate to do that. He's fought a lot of heavyweights, and all the heavyweights he fought don't have good footwork neither. Wilder didn't have great footwork. He had quick feet, but he didn't have great feet. Um, Chisora didn't have great footwork. Klitschko, he had good understanding of distance, but not great feet.
But physically, it takes a toll on you trying to turn a guy that big for that
Not
long.
if not if he doesn't grab you.
But you know he is though, Shane.
But you have to get close to someone to grab someone.
But he's 6'9", 280, bro. You know he gonna get close. You know this.
Bro,
You
the
know he
the
is.
only way he gets close is if Usyk is, as you said earlier, is in a position where he feels like he has to get his offense off. If
Usyk
Usyk's
could
in,
literally have to run all night.
That's what I'm saying.
Only way.
But
He's not
that's
going to
my
fight that
point.
way. He's not going
That's
to
my
fight that way.
point. That's why I don't think Usyk's gonna win. But I'm just saying, if Usyk was to fight that way, there's nothing Fury can do. If Usyk was to fight, oh, I'm gonna literally use movement. Even if Fury wanted to walk him down, he's not walking him down, bro. I put money on that. There's no way he's gonna be able to, because his feet ain't sophisticated enough. But obviously, Usyk's gonna have to do some. He's gonna have to go forward at times. That's when Fury's gonna get his success. That's when Fury's gonna be able to grab and hold. If Usyk just decided to run all night, he will lose the fight, but he ain't gonna get caught.
No, I agree with that. Andre Southgate, what happens if Usyk gets floored with a big knockout? How does he respond? You can't put that on genetics. That's talent to be able to get up and
Now that's a
adapt to the
fact.
fight and outbox
That's a
the guy.
fact.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
no, like Fury. Listen, Fury different. Like Fury
He's
different.
made a difference.
I'm not a huge fan of Fury, but he different. He different, like for sure. He said, "Peace, all have a good one, good content." Andre Southgate, we appreciate you, good brother.
Did you get the
Conrad,
notification?
yeah, Andre, did you get the notification? Conrad, I'm certainly not betting my house on Fury. That's funny. Yeah, I wouldn't bet the house on it. Um, Maybe the car. You know what I'm saying? Bolo, Fury is the best in the heavyweight division, of course. He can catch Usyk. Fury is the fastest heavyweight in the division. I don't agree with that.
Fury is the best in the heavyweight. Of course, he can catch Usyk. Fury is the fastest with no weight.
He's no way.
He ain't got the fastest front foot. I mean, who's got the best front foot game in the division? Front foot. It's a tough one. Who's the fastest footwork coming forward? I mean, back in the 5 years ago, it was definitely Alexander Povetkin. Definitely. In terms of just cutting the distance 5 years ago, prime Povetkin, definitely.
It's kind of
Not
hard to
many
say
people.
that.
A
Not
lot of these
them.
dudes are big. A lot of these dudes are
A
real
lot
big.
of them are just big. Like I don't see
I
any
mean,
of them.
maybe Jared Anderson's got real quick feet, but
He ain't really showed it.
yeah,
Not consistently.
I mean, I know there's dudes who got good. He's got fast feet going backwards. Like Michael Hunter's got real quick feet going backwards, but walking the fighter down, he's got real quick feet.
To be honest with you, I don't think any of them dudes got a real good front foot game. I can't.
That's what I think. That's why I think a lot of dudes are food for Usyk at heavyweight, because if Usyk decides to go on that bike, like a Andy Ruiz, bro, he ain't catching Usyk for nothing.
Yeah, Bruce Goes is in the building. What's going on, family? Conrad said got the notification this time. That's what's up.
So
Bruce said he didn't get one. He said he didn't get one.
Those in the comments, let me know who you think has a foot. Yoka's got quick feet. But
yeah, but his is more side to side.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not like the Tyson transitional quick feet that we use.
Tyson had a crazy front foot game. Like Holyfield had a crazy front foot game. Lennox had it in his prime, had a crazy front foot game.
But Lennox and Riddick both weren't fast though.
Well, we're talking about speed. Fast or just we talking? No,
just speed? He said speed. He said speed.
Oh, speed wise, yeah. Nobody in the top 10 has front foot game. I'm talking in terms of speed. No, all of them are methodical to say the least.
Yeah, like who is? I mean, again, the last person I can remember in the heavyweight division who had real quick feet coming forward was Povetkin. Literally, I
would say probably now if I had to say who has the quickest feet, and it ain't even necessarily front foot. I would say probably Hunter.
But that's what I'm saying. He's definitely got the quickest feet, but he's not. We're just talking about coming forward. I mean, coming forward.
I can't pick anybody.
With relentless pressure, Chisora's feet ain't quick.
His feet not quick. I don't. None of them.
That's a good question, though. That's actually a good question.
He said, "Come on, bro. Fury's got great footwork. No, he has great upper body movement. He has great upper body,
and he's
and
got
his
great dimensions. He's
the
got
top,
great dimensions.
from the waist up, he's great. You know
The
what I
best
mean?
way to put it, Bolo, is if Fury wasn't 6'9" with that reach, his footwork wouldn't look that sophisticated, though. It's just because
Yeah,
he's literally that tall and that big that he can make his feet seem that way. Just because a dude can do an Arlie shuffle and move around the
his
ring, bro. When have you
yeah,
seen this dude actually take a dude, pivot around, like do a pivot or pull a dude in and actually use his feet to create space? He actually doesn't really do that. And plus, his transition from offense to defense and defense to offense is poor. So his feet ain't that great, bro.
yeah, his shoulders and his head movement is really good, but it looks exceptional because of his size, though. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? But he doesn't have great feet. It's his
like
upper body movement makes it seem like he has great feet. But if you notice, Bolo, if you actually watch a Fury fight, right, it may not even necessarily be any of the Wilder fights, but when he's making defensive moves, he's stationary, making those
exactly.
defensive moves, and then he may just step to. He can't even call it a
What
pivot. He'll step to
what
the left or step to the right.
watch what Usyk does with his feet, and his hands and his head will be in the same place, but his feet just move just so sophisticated. That's great feet. Fury doesn't do that.
And Usyk don't get himself out of the pocket neither when he's doing
No,
that. He keeps
no.
himself in range. So you make a mistake, he right there to make you pay too. Conrad, Usyk would hammer Fury's face all night long unless Fury switches the bully mode. That's what we saying. Fury gonna
Yeah,
go in the bully mode.
he's
He
gonna
gonna go
have
in
to
the
start that fight.
he
He's gonna
gonna go
have
in the
to
starting
start that
fight.
way. There's no way. There's no way
Yeah.
he's gonna be able to beat him. Go just like
Just
fighting
boxing?
backwards.
Hell no. Yeah,
Hell
that's
no.
not working. Yeah, like
His
Fury.
offense isn't good enough to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Adrian said if Usyk is back up and moving, it's on his terms and knows how to. When Fury was backing up Wilder, it was on Fury's terms and something Wilder doesn't do
Oh
well.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fact.
Adrian, that's 100% facts. But that's the thing. Like that's why I was telling Vlog. Like you can't come into a fight trying to beat your opponent at the best thing that he does. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. You understand what I'm saying? Conrad said Hunter is the fastest.
Yeah, he's
Um,
fast, but I just don't remember him walking a fighter down with quick feet.
so he's
I
got the
got a name
fastest
for you.
fist.
I got a name for you, bro. I got the
Uh-huh.
name. I got a name for you. Quick feet, and you're gonna agree with this one. Oscar Rivas. He's got quick forward feet, coming forward. It's not that bad. It ain't that in comparison. In comparison, bro.
I don't know how I feel about that. I got to think about that.
And Bryant Jennings, he's got quick feet as well.
Yeah, but I ain't seen Brian Jennings in so long. My
I know.
memory is
Bro, I'm reaching. I'm trying to answer the question,
my
bro.
memory is skewed a little bit.
Bro, I'm
Uh,
reaching. I'm reaching. I'm reaching.
Big
I'm
shout out to
literally reaching.
Underrated Darkness, man. Big shout out to Underrated Darkness, man.
But
Definitely
Oscar
putting that real
Rivas'
good
feet
work.
ain't slow though. Rivas' feet ain't slow.
It's not slow, but I don't want to give you that yet. I gotta think
I'm
about that
reaching,
one.
bro. We have
I know you're reaching.
to.
I know you're reaching. Cusco is underrated. Conrad said Wilder got fast front feet.
Wilder don't walk anyone down, so that's
Conrad,
irrelevant.
I'll say this. I'll say this as far as Wilder's front foot game. I would say Wilder probably is the quickest at closing distance
Yeah,
between his size, the length of his arms, and him using his feet to get to the target.
that's laser.
Laser sharp,
Yeah,
laser
yeah.
sharp. But it's not in a walk him down sense though.
Yeah, like
It's,
there's no point having quick feet if you're not gonna walk a fighter down. It's like how can I put it? Like
no, Conrad nailed it on this one. He said just not the technique to utilize it against the elite. Facts.
yeah,
Facts. He done had to beat guys in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Like he done had to beat guys in other ways, man. And people talk about like Wilder's not technically sound, this, that, and the third. I think if he just had somebody to really get his mechanics down as far as his footwork, bro, he had been able to get that right hand off in so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought it wasn't the tools in the toolbox. I always felt like it was just his footwork. He could have did so much more. Um, Underrated. Bruce goes. Bolo said Fury will bully Usyk, or though it would be a great chess match if he just boxed Usyk. Yeah, he's losing a boxing match against Usyk. I don't think there's one person in the division that's going to beat Usyk in a boxing match. The underrated darkness, I agree with y'all. Fury can be hit. Usyk has a chance. My guy Blaze Philly 215 in the
Blaze, I
building.
got you. Sunday. I
Yeah.
got you. I saw your message. I
I,
literally just installed Cash App today, but Cash App is still not working for me. So I have to
yeah,
use
they gotta
PayPal.
verify it. So but
Oh,
big
is that
shout
how
out
it
to
works?
yeah, they gotta verify that. But big shout out to Blaze Philly 215, man. I think I played him this week in the fantasy football league. I think you're taking a loss this week, brother. That's just, I'm just saying I need that victory bad too. Bolo said, who do you think is the best heavyweight in the division, bro? Fury.
Based on what?
Fury.
Based on what?
I don't care what it's based on. Fury's the best in the division right now.
I think he's number one. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
he's the
he's number
best.
one.
I think there's a difference between being number one and being the best, bro.
No, I think he's the best heavyweight.
Nah, you can't say that.
Why
You
can't
can't
I
say
say
that.
that? Why can't I
I'll
say
tell
that?
you why. Because there's a difference between number one and being the best. If we start the league, we start a NBA, bro, and I'm number one, I'm not the best until I win the league, bro. Until
Well,
I win it, then I'm not the best.
This is gonna be a mic drop. All right,
Go
you
on.
ready?
Yeah, no chance, but go on.
All right, listen. Who does Fury get in the ring with, and he's not the favorite?
That's not doesn't mean he's the best though.
Yeah,
Just
it
because you're
does.
the no, it
Yeah,
don't.
it
No,
does.
it
It
don't.
does,
No, bro. Favorites have lost fights. Favorites have
Understood.
lost fights.
Understood. But until they go head to head, right? Until they go head
That's
to head.
why no one's the best. No one is
So
the best until it's decided. Until it's
yeah.
decided, no one is the best. That's why
So
I don't even say
who's
Crawford is the best at 147. He's number one in my opinion. I think he will win, but I'm not going to crown him the best.
so technically you're not answering the question. You can't
Nobody's
answer.
the best. You can't say someone is the best if they haven't fought
Yeah,
the
but he's
person that's
asking for
right
you.
next to you.
But this is an opinion question, though. This is an opinion
Right
question
now,
right now.
right now, Fury is number one. Fury is number one. There's no
Right.
categoric answer to that answer. It's not like we were at 140 where I can say Josh Taylor was the best because he's undisputed. I can't do that.
Blaze laughing. He said, "No, you're not playing me. It's me versus Octavia." Okay, who the hell am I playing this week? He talking about the fantasy league. Bolo laughing. He said, "At this point, Fury is a favorite in any fight and the best at the heavyweight division." That's my thing. Like I feel like it's just
You can't
Usyk
be
is
the
the
best
most.
though.
Usyk is the most. I think Usyk is the most talented.
No.
I think Usyk is the most talented at heavyweight, but I think Fury is the best heavyweight right now. I think he's the best
I
heavyweight
don't
right now.
think there is no best. I don't think
Bolo
and
Bolo said Blaze, I agree. But the thing is, I think even with your Crawford analogy, I think Crawford is number one because I would favor Crawford against anybody at
but
147
alright,
going
cool.
into the fight.
Let me tell you why that's irrelevant though, bro. Let me tell you why what we think is irrelevant. Because we've picked fighters
But
to win fights and they've lost. So
yeah, but
what
it's a
we think,
personal opinion though.
but he didn't ask for our opinion. He
He
said who
did.
is the best. He
Yeah,
didn't
he
say
asked you.
Jeff. Who do you think is the best? He said who is the best. That there's not
Who,
all that.
look, who do you think is the best heavyweight in the division? It's a personal
I
question.
I read
Who do
that
you
question
think?
wrong.
Yeah, who do you
Based
think?
on based on what? That's my answer. Based on what?
Okay, based on Bolo, based on what? Bolo said Blaze. I agree. Said Terrence is a great fighter. Uh, definitely the best in his division.
Is it,
Go ahead, Shane.
are we saying he is he the most skilled? No, Fury is not the most skilled fighter in the division. Is he the most accomplished? No, Fury is not the most accomplished fighter in the division. But do I think if him versus Usyk was to fight, he would win? Yes. Do I think he beats more top 10 heavyweights than anyone else? Yes. So
So I guess it's kind of by default, right?
yeah. No, but but if he beats Usyk, he's the best. That's the
Yeah,
fact. If he
yeah,
beats Usyk, he's the best.
yeah. Blaze said if we talking pound for pound, I would say Crawford is pound for pound number one. I've been saying that. I think Shane is
Nah, not
saying
anymore.
not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
Who you got? Who you got?
Usyk.
You got Usyk.
Usyk. Has to be Usyk. Has to be Usyk, bro. Has to be Usyk.
Conrad said you said it yourself. Fury hasn't fought anyone like Usyk and vice versa. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Conrad, that goes to say whoever wins that fight would definitely be the best for sure.
Facts.
Say we can only assume what would happen in that fight. Yeah, for sure.
That's
We
why he
just
said, to be fair, we read it. I read it wrong. He
yeah,
said think. So
yeah,
Jeff was responding to who he thinks. So
right. Based on the current heavyweights in this era.
yeah. Who I think is a bit, who I think will be on top this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's a combination of him getting it in different ways. You've seen him in trouble, you've seen him down, you've seen him get up, you've seen he got dog in him. You've seen him fight dirty fights, you've seen him win technical fights, boxing matches. I mean, he can give it to you any way you like it. Um, and but the thing is so crazy, he does all of this, and I still feel like offensively he's limited. I still feel like offensively
But the
he's
dude's a crafty dude, bro. He's one of the most
real crafty.
craftiest fighters I've seen in
Real,
a while.
and the thing is, and I keep watching the Fury knockout in the third fight, and I just be like, yo, I just thank God that he didn't land that left hook. He landed the
Oh,
right hand over the top to put him down, but that left hook that he missed by like a half a whisker, oh my God, if he would have landed that shot, yo,
what's next?
and
What
Wilder
what
got out of that shot by accident. He was so dazed, he got out of that by accident. But if he'd have landed that left hook,
what's
oh my
next for
goodness.
what's next for Wilder?
Wilder, I think he probably takes about a year off. Um, I think he takes about a year off.
Review
Um,
the heavyweight landscape after a year.
yeah, reviews the landscape after a year. He'll get a PBC cupcake in his comeback fight, probably at the Barclay or something like that. Something quick and easy. He can get up out of there. I can see a Kalnaki, a Hellenius, something like that. Something he can get rid of. Get him back in the win column, and then he gonna review the landscape after that. But at least a year off. Actually, I think he's on suspension for at least 6 months, so it's gonna be at least 6 months
Why?
medical.
But that's only one commission. He can fight in another commission.
Yeah, but he's not going to return that
But
early.
but but Malik Scott said he doesn't want him talking about boxing for a long time. So
Well, the thing is, I think that's the wrong approach. He needs to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? If he's not going to be fighting, he needs to talk about it. Because if he's taking, because people think you taking time off, that you're not doing absolutely nothing boxing wise. He actually needs to be in the lab. He actually needs to be in the lab. You know, yeah, this
Continue
ain't
what
going to
you
craft.
had, what you were doing before the fight.
Yeah,
Because regardless of what anyone wants to say, some of the stuff that you were working on did work.
yeah.
It just
He telegraphed it.
you just didn't have no disguise, and
Yeah,
you threw everything at 100 miles an hour. You were way too eager going into like. You were way too eager, bro. Like
yeah.
this dude fought like, he was just way too eager. There was no
Yeah,
calmness
absolutely.
about him at all.
Yeah, it's just there was no boxing craft going on.
Like I remember when Tiafimo fought Loma. Loma, Tiafimo was very, very, very focused and eager to get the fight. And if you look at it, the first few rounds, you could see that enthusiasm, that youthfulness coming out. But when he lost it, you can see Loma start getting back into the fight. But it takes the time where you just, you know what? I'm a throw caution to the wind and give it. The truth is, once the truth is, he fought a technical fight, Loma and Teofimo Lopez, whereas Wilder fought a fight which was quite brutal. So you can't just rely on enthusiasm and eagerness because at this point you're getting hit back, you're getting hurt, you're getting dropped, you're getting dazed. You know, psychologically, you're getting demons come back into your head. So it's a much different approach he had to take going into that fight. He should have had a bit more disguise, a bit more calmness to him, a bit more, he should have been a bit more control of his thoughts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's hard to tell a killer to do that.
But especially when a killer just came in there for revenge. You know,
Yeah, so that
that's
all
like
that.
someone just slapped your mom and you're going
Yeah,
in there to to
you
calculate
telling
your way.
yeah,
Yeah.
you telling the start off the combo with the jab. Hell no, I ain't starting the combo off with the jab. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Literally.
No, that's a great. No, that's a great analogy. Um, but I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's really crazy. You know, just thinking about the heavyweight division because I think it's deep. I think the heavyweight division is deep. You know, in
I mean,
terms
what does this mean for Otto Wallin though? Who does he fight?
of that's a good question. I think that's a real good question. I'm not sure. I think Otto Wall and Michael Hunter is a real good fight.
That
I
might
think
be
it's.
a tad boring though.
I don't think so because I mean somebody's gonna have to get aggressive. Somebody gonna have to get aggressive. I think it'll be Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter
Um,
had to get aggressive. So
maybe Andy Ruiz versus Otto Wallin.
Ruiz ain't taking that fight. He's still
This
recovering from that tattoo.
is PBC though.
Yeah, it is PVC, but I just don't see where that fight makes sense for Ruiz. I don't see where it makes sense for him to take it. That's a good question. I don't know what's next for Wallin. Damn. Hold on. Conrad said Herkovich is in camp. I think. Is he lined up to fight somebody?
I mean, I know
Uh,
Kalasaulen wanted him to fight Michael Hunter. That fight didn't come through. Um, the truth is, there's a lot of dudes at that fringe level. The Michael Hunters, the Tony Okers, the Hergovich, the Joe Joyce, the Daniel Dubois, Otto Wallin. Just at that fringe level. You know, who even you can say Joseph Parker. Who else?
Joseph Parker's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying names that are just at that level underneath the Wilder, Fury, AJ, Usyk. You got those dudes who really just need to fight each other. A lot of these dudes need to fight each other. I would love to see some way that those dudes mix it up and see where they go. I mean, I know Yoka just came out of a good fight.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm waiting for him to get a step up fight too. Cause he been kind of
yeah.
fighting the same. He been kind of fighting the same level guys. And
Well,
um,
his last fight was supposed to be a sly step up, but he just dealt with it in a much better fashion than he was supposed to. The dude he fought was an undefeated prospect. He was like very good amateur career and stuff.
yeah,
Um,
no, Yoka different. Like I like
but
Yoka different.
Yoka does need a step up. I mean, I would love to see a Yoka versus Hergovich.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a real good fight. Conrad said
Hunter
waiting for an
versus Joe
opportunity.
Joyce.
Yeah, Ruiz will beat Martin all day long. Talking about Charles Martin. You talking about Charles Martin? Gotta be
Has to
talking about
be.
Charles Martin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Charles Martin. Inside the ring, he really doesn't do anything for me. Um, just
But Ruiz is another thing. There's about 10 dudes underneath that, underneath the top three, four.
that's why I
That
said it's deep. It's deep.
yeah, like you got like if you think about it, there's a lot of dudes underneath that top four that all need to fight each other just to make, or someone just needs to literally separate themselves from the rest. You know, I thought Hunter was doing a good job at that when he beat Kuzma, Bokoli, fought Povetkin. He was on a good steady run. He
Yeah.
didn't get that. He didn't get that done. I mean, I don't know what Joseph Parker's doing. I know he's rematching Chisora. I don't really want to see that. But like the young
Who
dudes
asked for
coming,
that fight?
I
I don't even
don't
know who
know,
asked.
bro.
I don't know who asked that fight, man. I
But
don't.
the young dudes, not really young, but the dudes with that's on the come up, Pergovic, Yoka, and stuff like that, Joyce, Hunt, the Boer, those are the dudes who Jared Anderson, those are the dudes you really want to see. You know, we
Yeah.
really want to
Yeah.
see those dudes because
Yeah.
they're the next generation of heavyweights. The likes
I,
of Andy Ruiz and Parker, it's either put up or shut up at this point.
yeah. Heavyweight can go outside of the top three, four. You can go about 20 deep. You can go about
Easily.
20 deep easily.
You can
Um.
still make even Frank Sanchez. Look at Sanchez. He just come off a
Yeah.
real good win against the Jaguar.
Yo, and he's not 29. Yo, he looked more
That's a
like 92 than 29 for sure.
yeah.
Conrad
As
said, add
Conrad said, add
Sanchez.
Sanchez. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta add Sanchez to the mix.
He just
Um,
come off a real good win as well. So there's a lot of dudes. I
yo,
mean,
yo, Frank Sanchez looked like James from Good Times. He looked like he looked like he looked like
good.
JJ Pop from Good Times. He looked like
Oh, the
JJ
dad, the
dad.
dad.
He
Yeah,
looked
yeah,
like the
yeah,
dad. That's exactly what he looked like.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. He looked like one of them old pimps that
Oh
be in the
yeah, I know.
club.
Yeah, James.
He looked like James Evans. He looked like
Yeah,
James
yeah,
Evans.
yeah. Because I know Good Times the show because
Yeah,
over here a lot of American shows get rerun on UK TV. So I'm just trying to remember which one was James, but yeah.
yeah, for sure, man.
And the mum always used to scream out James like that.
Right. Yeah.
The difference with that Conrad though, you said don't forget Makhmedov. The difference Makhmedov's got a little bit more proving to do though. For me, he's
Yeah,
got a little bit
he's
more
on the
proving to do.
yeah, he's on the back half of those
Yeah, he's
guys.
in a yeah, like he's got a little bit because like at least the likes of Yoka, Pergovic, Joe Joyce, Frank
I would
Sanchez,
put
they got a
Makhmadov.
win. They got wins underneath their
Yeah,
name. You know,
Makhmadov is more so on the side with like Babbage and them. Like
Babbage.
yeah,
Yeah,
like more along that lane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, heavyweight deep, man. Heavyweight is really, really deep. I listen,
but
I put you like this. None of them heavyweights should be broke. None of them.
nah.
You know
But
what? Let me throw this question out here for you since we just chopping it up. Um, our favorite GNC user, Big Baby Miller, is training with a friend of the channel and Kevin Cunningham. Do you have any feelings on that at all?
I mean, at this point, it's really irrelevant talking about Gerald Miller because there's no way on God's green earth a top promoter picks this dude up. So how does he make big fights? Because no promoter is gonna waste their money on trying to promote a fight with Gerald Miller, and the chances of him making, I mean, Top Rank just lost money on a fight because the same reason, you know,
And Jay Prince. And Jay Prince.
yeah,
Jay Prince gave him money up front. Yeah.
exactly. Eddie Hearn lost money.
Eddie Hearn
He
lost
gave him
money.
money up front for the AJ fight. So
He was
nobody's gonna.
his next like four fights have got to be IOUs. For real, it got to be IOUs. I would love to talk to Kevin Cunningham and kind of get the behind the scenes on how that even came about because it seemed like Kevin Cunningham is a real stand up principles type guy.
I can't even say Kevin Cunningham's chasing money. 'Cause I'm
He's
pretty sure Gerald
exactly
Miller.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I would really want to know how that came about. I'm gonna reach out to him
Yeah,
on Twitter. I really want to reach out to him on Twitter and kind of get his answer on that. Like
I mean,
without
I
going
saw
there,
him.
because I'm like, it don't have nothing to do with him, but just, as a trainer, you have a
Yeah,
process that you go through to determine what
I
fighters you
saw
take on.
Miller. I saw Miller post. I think he said 3 months left or 6 months left or something like that. And to me, it doesn't matter how much months he's got left. No promoter is gonna just give him a shot like that. So
He
really
would
and
have to
truly,
fight. He would have to fight under RDR Promotions, like here in Philly. Like
but
it had
who's
to
he
be a
gonna
guy
fight?
like it had to be a guy like that. You know
But
what I'm
who's he
saying?
gonna fight? Who is he
I
gonna
don't
fight?
know. He needs the
That's the thing.
opportunity.
Like,
He needs the
like
opportunity. I don't think the
the
opponent really
heavyweight,
matter.
the heavyweight division is so stacked. Like, as you said, there's literally 20 dudes under the top three that you can mention.
If
Like,
if Miller was serious, it's so many guys at heavyweight. Like he'll be able to make the bread back. Like if he came in solid, he would be
but
able to
who
make the
will take
bread back.
that fight though? Who in their right mind is gonna want to fight Gerald Miller?
A lot of them dudes, because they still look at him as a name.
They look at him as a drug cheat, bro. He might be on
Yeah.
drugs trying to kill me.
But the thing is, he probably gonna be the cleanest fighter in the world.
You would have thought that after the first drug ban and then he got busted again.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think he's gonna get another failed test.
You don't think so? Or if he did?
I would want to smack the shit out of him on my damn self. Like tell him, Powder, just smack him up, like, you know what I mean?
Literally, what are you doing with your life at that point,
bro? Conrad said I would favor Makhmadov above Dubois all day.
I get you, but in terms of rankings and positioning yourself for a big fight, I'm just talking about Makhmadov ain't that. Yeah, he's behind the ball. He's behind the ball.
Also said, LOL, he would put Babbage out in 2 rounds. Somehow Makhmadov.
Babbage has got a name though. Babbage has got American people are talking about Babbage.
Hey, we love Babbage. We love Babbage over here, man. Babbage that
dude. So I mean, he's a dude, and bro, Dillian Whyte must be making so much money off Babbage right now.
And the thing is, we know Babbage because he was in Philly, like with Ebony Bridges, because Ebony Bridges, she trains in Philly when she's not, in her home country, so she trains here. So we're very familiar with Alan Babbage. Like, I imagine Alan Babbage like talking romantic on the phone, yo. He already sound like the Cookie Monster. So
literally, bro, this guy's got the most roughest voice ever.
Yeah, he is hilarious. But yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Kevin Cunningham and see if we can get him on. Because I'm really curious, like how that
is interesting.
Yeah, like who reached out to who, like how did that come about? Like what process did he go through to actually determine that was the guy he was gonna train? Like, it's a lot of risk in that as well. Like, was it a favor to someone? Like you understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's a lot that goes into that. Kev, I'm coming to you on Twitter, man. I'm reaching out to you. I might have to get it to Toriano to try to make that happen too. Because I really want to ask him. Really want to ask him about that. I got some Erickson Lubin questions as well. I feel like he's like right on the edge of getting another title shot.
Yeah, of course. But right now the titles, 154 is a mess right now. The titles are tied up though, isn't it? So
yeah, the 154 is a mess right now.
Bro, I'll pay anyone. I'll pay anyone right now to name me their top 10 in 154. It is all effed up.
You can't do it.
It is all effed up.
You can't do it. Like
Harrison, Hearn, and J-Rock.
Yeah.
Charlo and Castano drew.
Yeah.
So there is no number one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put Tim Zoo in there. Definitely put Tim Zoo in there.
You can put Lubin in there. Put a lube in.
Lubin, definitely Lubin.
I'm even throwing my young gun in there, man. Sebastian Fundora. I'm throwing Sebastian Fundora in the mix at
Yeah, Fandora.
154
He came off a
pounds.
good win. He came off a good win.
Good round. Yeah, he beat
Even even
Jorge
even
Coulter.
yeah, even the dude who I was looking at to be the next big thing, Madrimov. He ain't fought in so long, bro.
Yeah, Matchaball has been inactive. 154 is a mess. Like it is like
Real mess.
real messy at 154. And even the guys that they were saying was gonna move up to 154 and move up to 154. Like
Like
so
Danny.
like Danny.
Danny and
Like yeah.
Danny Jesse Vargas as well. He was supposed to be
Jesse
moving up
Vargas
to
supposed to be 154. Keith Thurman was talking about going to 154. Like it's like 154 is just
is a mess.
like got hit by the hurricane and just it's just shit all
Yeah,
over
like
the place.
it's all over the place, bro.
Yeah, it's all over the place,
It's like
man.
you know when you have a party in your house and you wake up the next morning, you thinking,
You be like, what?
how
Yeah,
did
what
this
the
room end up like this?
right? That's exactly. That's
you know,
154.
you be walking and you're thinking, how did that end up there?
Right,
What?
right. That's 154 all in a nutshell.
You be
I,
looking at J Rock like, how the hell did you end up where you ended up right now? Like, it's
right.
crazy.
I can't even. The thing that's crazy. Like I can't even say who's the best at 154 right now. I don't have anybody,
Well, it's still between Castano and Charlo.
but I still can't pick between the two though.
Of course not, because the fight was so
Yeah,
close.
because the fight was so close. So I literally can't answer that question. Like 154 is a damn mess, yo. Like I would say right now 154 is a mess. 160 is a mess.
160 is a disgrace.
160
160
is
is
the
just
worst.
disgusting. It's
Yeah,
just a
160 is the
disgusting
worst.
division.
Yeah, 160 is the worst. I would say yeah, it was between 154 and 160 is bad. It's bad right now.
You know what 175 is? I'll tell you what 175 is. 175 is that girl that used to be in your class at school, and she was destined to be a beauty queen. And you saw her 10 years down the line and think, what happened to you?
Right.
That's what because 175 had the potential to be something so pristine, but
Mm-hmm.
just kind of went left, but can still be saved. Can still be saved just
Absolutely.
with the right matches. But 160 is done. That is a done division. Like
160's
that
done. Yeah,
is
160's
absolutely
done.
done.
Like 160 is trash truck juice. Like
Trash, bro. It's
straight trash
over.
truck. Like
Over.
yeah, nobody at 160 is relevant right now.
Nobody.
Jamal ain't relevant right now. Triple G ain't relevant right now. Andre ain't relevant right now
Mm,
because they ain't
It's a
fighting.
it's
It's
a
a disgrace right
disgusting
now. Yeah.
it's a disgusting situation we're in right now.
Hey
I mean,
Shane, I got a fun fact for you before we end this because we about an hour 45 minutes strong. Um, I talked to Padman McGriff earlier. Big shout out to Coach Padman McGriff. You want to know who he said he sparred because he watched the
who
show yesterday?
who
The Hulk.
why did he what did he watch that made him bring that up?
Remember yesterday we were talking about who some of the best punchers of all time?
Oh, okay.
He texted me. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I sparred Julian Jackson 4 rounds." He said he's the hardest puncher in history. Like he said it himself.
But the
Like,
truth is though, how the hell did he spy him? Isn't Padman like 6'8" or something? This dude's like a
but think,
monster.
but the thing is though, if he's the strongest in history, he would need to spar a guy like that because that's the only one that probably can take his power.
Why was his name the Hawk anyway? His name should have been the Hammer or the Drill or something. Or
Nah, because
Bullet or
he
something.
explained it. He said it's the Hawk because he said there's a lot of chickens that be running around, so he the Hawk. That was his logic behind it.
Fair enough.
That was his logic behind it. But man, we gonna close this one out, man. This one was a good one. Hour 45 minutes strong. My man BoxingFirst Vlog couldn't be in here today, man. He had some stuff going on, so he couldn't get on today. But big shout out to him. You can follow him on Twitter at BoxingFirst Vlog, on Instagram at boxing1 st vlog. Shane, give them your social media, good brother.
I_am Shane, the number one. That is on Instagram only. But I'm working on something. I'm working. Jeff doesn't even know. I'm working on something right now. It's not a social media account or nothing, but I'm
Yeah.
working on something personally that I hope will push me forward and subsequently push everybody who's around me forward as well.
Um, you can follow me all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, G5JeffTV, G5JeffTV.com. Join the fantasy league. New season is going to start up pretty soon. But you definitely want to get your feet wet. You know what I'm saying? Get your feet wet. Come on in and get some of this good work. It's the true definition of how good you are in terms of actually predicting fights. You're on record.
Boxing, yeah. You're on record.
You're really testing your boxing knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great place to do it. Blunt did write an article. I am gonna read it tonight.
He didn't
Uh,
send it to me.
he sent it
How
to
did he
my
send it?
email. He sent it to my email. I don't know why he sent it to my email, but I'm gonna forward it to was media. Is it media?
Yeah.
Yeah, media.
Media.
Yeah. So I'll forward it there, and we'll basically go from there. But I don't know what you got cooking up, Shane. In terms of what you just said, but I actually got an interesting offer today.
From
Um, I got a commentating offer.
oh,
Um,
fair enough.
I got a commentating offer for a show next month. I'm gonna have to holler at you about that because that's a major step. Um, that's a major step. You know
Definitely,
what I'm
bro.
saying? Definitely a major
Definitely.
step. I take
Definitely.
that. I take that stuff very serious. So if I decide to do it, I'm not coming in there, just to look good on camera. Like I'm coming in there to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, VP Shane, aka Shane Abiabuchi, and your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. Hey man, episode 12 of the Goodfellas podcast, man. We up and moving. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be doing a breakdown and prediction for Jamel Hearn and Shakur Stevenson, man. So on behalf of the staff, man, we out.